Crochet holly and berries to make a beautiful yet traditional holiday embellishment in just minutes. And don't forget to decorate a placemat for Santa's plate of cookies and one for his reindeer's treats too. I'm going to leave about 12 inches and I'm going to form a slip knot just to start. And with the double strand, I'm going to chain 14. 1, 2, 3. Now I have 14 and my yarn ran out, so I was doing a double and it ran out, which is just fine because now that's woven in. So I'm just going to cut this little end off, never to be seen again. Okay, I'm going to skip the first one, and in the second stitch from the hook, chain from the hook, I'm going to work a slip stitch. And I'm going to do that in the next two then. So that's a total of 3 slip stitches. And now I start shaping the leaves. I start with, in the next chain, I'm going to work a single crochet. Now notice, I'm going and doing all my stitches in the upper loop of this chain because I intend on coming back and working on the other side of this foundation chain to form the shape of the leaf. So I've done my single crochet into the next one. Now I'm going to do a half double crochet. It's a little bit wider than the single crochet, so I get shaping. Then in the next one, I'm going to do a double crochet, which is yet again a little wider. Then I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to go and slip stitch into the top of that double crochet, and that forms a little picot. That's a very tiny little picot. All it does is it makes the leaf, the end of the leaf shape pointed. Now I'm doing another double crochet. You see that? And in the next stitch I'm doing a half double crochet. In the next one, a single crochet. In the next one, we're going to get wider again. I'm going with a half double crochet. The next one, we're going to do the series of double crochets. 1 double crochet, chain 1, slip stitch into the top of the double crochet to get that little picot on the top, that little point. That's what picot means. Then another double crochet into that very same stitch. The only chain that has 2 stitches in it is when we do the double crochets with the picot on it. So that gave us our second little pointy part of the leaf. The next stitch we're going to get skinnier again. We're going with a half double crochet and then even skinnier with a single crochet in the next one. When we get to the last one, we are going to get right into the center of that stitch and do a slip stitch and a chain 1 because we've just turned so we can come back on the other side. Now if you look at this carefully, you will see the next stitch up is a single crochet, and we're going to go right into the same stitch that the single crochet is in from the other side. So we have a single crochet. The next stitch is a half double crochet, which is just opposite the half double crochet on the first side. Then we're going to be into the next stitch, which is just opposite the double crochet. So we're going to do the double crochet sequence again with 1 double crochet, chain 1, slip stitch into the top of the double crochet, and then another double crochet into that same space. See how it's starting to shape up? The next one up is a half double crochet because we're getting skinnier again, and then a single crochet, then another half double because we're going to make the other opposite point to this one. That's a half double crochet, then we're right on course. We're doing the double crochet sequence, chain 1, slip stitch, double crochet in the same space. Then we're doing a half double crochet because we're getting skinnier again, and then a single crochet in opposite the single crochet on the other side of the foundation chain. And then lastly, we're going to put a slip stitch into the next one. And that concludes our little holly leaf. So now we have 3 of them. And doesn't that look cute? When you bunch them together, like holly always remember holly as having at least 2 or 3 leaves together. But they're nothing without their berries. So let's make a few berries next. Leave a 3-inch yarn tail. We'll use that to attach the berries later. Chain 2, 1, 2. Yarn over, insert our hook in the second chain from the hook and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. And do it until we're going to keep repeating that until we have 6 or 7 loops on the hook. It doesn't really matter which. Just what's your preference. So I have 4 there. That's 6. I'm going to do 7. Okay, now I have 7 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of them. Then I'm going to go where I began in the second chain from the hook. I'm going to pull and slip stitch into that too. Now that gives me a little berry. But I'm not done yet because I want a cluster of berries. Instead of having a lot of loose berries like this, which I could use, I'm going to make a cluster of them. So I'm going to pull that up tightly and I'm going to chain 1, 2 more, and 3. And in the second one from the hook, I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop and do the same thing over again. I'm going to do that 6 to 7 times. That gives me 7 loops on my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yarn over and pull through all of them. Then return to the original chain, that second one from the hook, and slip stitch into it. So now I have 2 little berries, but I only have 1 end instead of 2 ends for each berry. I'm going to pull it up tight and I'm going to chain 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And in the second chain from the hook, I'm going to yarn over and work another berry. 1. I'm going to stitch down that little 1 chain that's between the berries and just bring these up a little bit tighter. As I'm doing that, I'm bringing it back to the original one, and I'm just going to stitch through that chain and tie the 2 ends together. That secures it, and for this kind of a decoration, it's not a really big deal. I'll just stitch through the back a little bit more and secure the stems of the leaves to the back of the berries. And there you go. Isn't that adorable? Decorate a gift, dress up the table, mark wine glasses, pin to a coat, clip on a barrette, hang on the tree, or string into a garland. You just can't make too many holly leaves and berries. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos. Happy crocheting!